What can I say about Re-Animator? I mean, really, it's been an incredible catapult for me. You know, I was just a young stage actor, kind of making that transition to film and kind of getting my sea legs. Done a few things, but nothing like this. And I never would have dreamed that 26 years ago, really almost to the day, because we shot Re-Animator in late '84 between Thanksgiving and Christmas, a quick 18 days. I never would have dreamed that 26 years later, we'd be still talking about it. I'm so extremely proud of the movie and how it has held up over the years. Because it's complex, but it is so simple and straightforward of a story with themes that are universal. And even though there are a lot of gimmicks and optical tricks, and clever editing, there's very few moments where it seems dated in a way. And it flies like a bat out of hell, and a great deal of that is due to a brilliant score.
Thank you.
The movies are about a lot of happy accidents. You know, the casting is right, the DP is spot on, the direction is good, the story is really important, the tone, and that's where music comes in. Music sets a tone, lets the audience know where they're at, without pushing them too hard at it, just kind of suggesting. That's just so great. Right where you hit it, Richard, was right where that movie had to be.
Thank you, Jeffrey. I'll tell you a couple of funny stories about the music, and then I want to do something to follow. The scene that you were referring to, the crazy scene where you're just going nuts and you're drilling him and all that, that's the way my scoring session went with the orchestra in Rome, Italy. And I'm not kidding you. This is what happened. About an hour into it, I didn't know that there was a war going on between factions of the orchestra. Have any of you ever seen orchestra rehearsal by Fellini? Not one, huh? Okay, well, I won't bring it up, but it's crazy. An hour or so into the recording session, a stool, or chair rather, goes flying across from the violin section into the percussion section. What the fuck's going on here? Next thing all of a sudden this guy, this is all in Italian, I speak Italian, I grew up in Italy, this guy starts yelling at the percussion section. Next thing I know, a cymbal goes flying across the stage to the violin section. Within 5 minutes, there's a near riot going on in the middle of the goddamn session. I'm going, what's going on with this? And I'm thinking of the goddamn scene. I said, this is what's going on. This is Re-Animator in action. I'm not kidding you. That's exactly what was going on. But Jeffrey was actually my real inspiration in the very beginning of looking at this, because do most of you remember the music?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I looked at Jeffrey and his whole character, and the first thing that came to me way before I even wrote a note, I said, you know, this guy is like psycho. Psycho.
I prefer brilliant.
Yes, he did. You know, I need to marry that to his quirkiness. And that's where I came up with this idea to, let's say, borrow a little bit of Bernard Herrmann's feeling of Psycho and give it the quirkiness that it needed. Because the film unto itself, if it had been taken totally seriously, people would have walked out and said, no way could it be so crazy. So it had to be not funny, although it was kind of campy and funny in places, but it had to be really twisted. And Jeffrey's character was the very inspiration of being totally twisted. And so thank you, by the way, for that.
You're quite welcome.
And by the way, I thought just on a side note, as far as dry Re-Animator goes, when I was scoring that, and this is supposed to show you how sick I was, but she was all made up and naked. I think I wanted to bone her. That's pretty sick. That's when I knew I probably had done too many films like this. You know? I went away from it for a little while. But I want to do one little thing here. You say you all kind of remember the music. So this side of the audience, we're going to do something. And this side of the audience, we're going to do something else. So what we're going to do here when I conduct you, you're going to go dun 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 dun. And when I ask you, you're going to go dun 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 dun. And you're going to do da 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 da. Okay, you ready? Okay. I want you to sing up. I got to hear you. Are you ready? Okay. Dun 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 dun.
In this case, it was decomposer.
Really, if any of you have any questions, fire away, raise your hand. We'd love to answer them. Well, first one was right there. This gentleman, right? You.
Yes. It's actually for Richard.
Go ahead.
Who's your favorite composers, and which of those influences did you drag into Re-Animator?
Well, obviously, Bernard Herrmann was a major inspiration in that, obviously.
But as far as the classical world goes.
Well, as far as film music goes, I mean, I was always a big Jerry Goldsmith fan. The Omen, you know, go on forever and ever. Just an incredible composer, and I can't leave John Williams out. But going back further than that, Meatless Rosa was just phenomenal. The Newman family and musical dynasty to this day is incredible. So there were many, many influences going back. But all great film composers are a weird combination of street and classical training. You kind of have to have both. And that pretty much fits the bill for almost all of these people, because they had other influences other than just classical music. Next question.
I know Stuart Gordon, being such a huge Lovecraft fan that he is, did he want you guys to read up on Lovecraft at all, or were you fans already at all before you did any of the movies?
When I auditioned, and this is true, you know, I did a play, the casting director saw me and he said, you know, there's something you might be right for. Famous last words, right? And so I went and auditioned, and Stuart said, you know, this is based on H.P. Lovecraft. And I went, oh yeah. Great! So the only thing I could think of was Chris Craft Boat Company. That's all I could think of, because I didn't know Lovecraft at that point. But no, he didn't urge us to. He urged us to read the original story, certainly, but I don't think he went out and said, go out and, you know, read Call of Cthulhu and, you know, Mountains. But he didn't do that. He did send us to the morgue, though. I did do that. Bruce and I did do that.
How was that?
That was really, really terrifying. Because what it did is it really keyed us into the fact that when you're dead, there's no way you're coming back. I mean, you look at a dead body on a gurney, or you look at a room full of them, like, you know, packed high, like in little cubicles, and there is a stillness and a non-life force going on, and it's an impossibility, which really helped us bring forth the wonder of really being able to do this. Of course, they have to be refreshing. But really, to bring something back to life would be a medical miracle. So if we hadn't done that, I don't think we would have had that book at all.
Yeah. Plus the scene in the morgue with Jeff and I.